Hello everyone and welcome back to episode 149 of your favourite Formula 1 show. Yes, F1 is in Abu Dhabi this weekend. It is the end of, let's say, a pretty mediocre season at best, isn't it? But I tell you what isn't mediocre. I'm joined once again by Jamie183. How are we doing, my guy?
Wow, I'm very good. You know how to give me an entrance, that's for sure. So, yeah, mediocre at best is quite generous for this season, to be honest. I think, my favourite thing about most Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, other than 2021, is always like the fanfare around the race. You get all the drivers having fun on the YouTube channel, and yeah, it seems like a bit of a party atmosphere. So it's always quite nice. Although this year, none of them are leaving, so we'll have less of that. But hopefully, probably my most enjoyable content to consume from Formula 1 YouTube is always F1 Secret Santa. So that must only be a few weeks away.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, if you find that Knowing Wheel is your favourite Formula 1 content to consume, or you just enjoy listening to the show, this is just a quick reminder, we've probably got now 5 or 6 episodes left of Knowing Wheel on the Matt212 YouTube channel. There'll be links down in the description below, so you can go check out the podcast on its official Knowing Wheel channel as of January 1st, 2024. We're very excited to launch it. I mean, it's kind of already soft launched, but yeah, we'll obviously be going there all of next year, and we are really, really excited for that. And Jamie, I was just thinking about this, obviously saying this season was mediocre. We got quite lucky with the year we launched this podcast, didn't we?
Yeah, very much so. Although the quality of podcasts back then was a bit lower, which is a shame.
The first few were rough, yeah.
Yeah. But, we move. We are both Formula 1 fans through the good and the bad.
Exactly. We're not here for Drive to Survive. We'll be sticking through even the worst that the sport has to offer. And yeah, pretty much every week still. You'll be getting a Formula 1 show, no matter how much rambling there is involved in it. But yeah, Jamie kind of hit the nail on the head there with one of our first talking points. This is the first year ever where no driver is retiring, and even worse than that, no driver is moving as of yet.
Yeah. So generally, I think since Drive of the Day got introduced in Abu Dhabi, in Formula 1, the winner of Drive of the Day in Abu Dhabi has always been somebody who's leaving the sport. And now that isn't happening. So I think last year it was Vettel. The year before, let's be fair, it's probably Max. I might be wrong.
I don't think it, because remember they normally shut it with a couple of laps to go.
Yeah, he wasn't winning until he went down the inside at turn 5.
He would have been Raikkonen though in 2021.
Oh, yeah, it would have been Raikkonen,
even though he retired from the GP.
Yeah, it probably was. 2020, don't know. 2019 was definitely Hulk. Yeah. So basically, whoever's retiring, everyone just cries about. But that won't happen this year. So Drive of the Day will be a genuine competition. I'm sure we're all really excited about it.
It makes Abu Dhabi worth watching, Jamie, just to know that Driver of the Day is going to be a fair contest.
Yeah. All we haven't got is Logan Sargent officially confirmed, but I'm pretty sure he will be. He's been pretty okay the last few. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll give him a second run out.
Yeah, it kind of is very much, isn't it, down at Williams. Again, we've mentioned this all year. We mentioned it towards the back end of last year as well. That team slowly bringing themselves back on the up and up. It kind of feels half of the reason they've got Sargent is, of course, they think he's a acceptable talent. Don't get me wrong, I don't see him as world champion material or anything like that. But, he'll probably have a 2-3 year spell in the team. If he does well, he does well. If he doesn't, then he'll get quietly dropped. But of course, as well, it seemed a lot more about, we're not a junior team anymore for another organisation. We are Williams, and we are putting the drivers in the car that we want to put in the car.
He only ever got in because Alonso threw him under the bus with Piastri. But apart from that...
Yeah, but Piastri was going to go to Alpine.
No, they're having... The plan was him to Williams.
Alpine wanted to put him into Williams, but Williams apparently weren't particularly interested. So it was kind of all of it up in arms.
Yeah,
it was all very.
And then Alonso
weird.
just dropped a bomb on it for a laugh.
At least Alonso made because last year's winter transfers was looking pretty dead, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, Alonso spiced it. Alonso needs to spice it up again. Retire, man. But yeah, it's however the last race for Alfa Romeo Sauber. Although they might be going to Haas, we still don't know.
Yeah, the big whispers all year really have been, well, we know Alfa Romeo are not going to be sponsoring Sauber next year. Whether they go back to being normal Sauber or Audi Sauber.
They're going to be Sauber.
Oh, really? That's
yeah.
good.
I reckon Audi might come in slightly early, but it won't be an Audi branded car until 2025 or 6.
Yeah, and then the big talk. Although I saw something this morning about Haas announced a sponsorship, but it wasn't a title sponsorship. But it could end up being Alfa Romeo Haas. I don't really get what Alfa Romeo's point is. Like, what are they trying to achieve?
No, and I believe they're still owned. Let me just have a quick
They're a
Google.
Ferrari group, aren't they?
Yeah, but it's Fiat, you mean? Yeah, no.
Fiat,
so they are. Yeah, they're owned by Stellantis, which is Fiat Chrysler. So I kind of get that.
It's just advertising, isn't it?
But
they must be
effectively,
paying a lot of money.
Yeah, but effectively, obviously, what they're doing is paying themselves for their own engines. It genuinely wouldn't surprise me. We might be uncovering something here, Jamie, if it was some kind of money laundering loophole to try and get more money into Ferrari or something.
Yeah, well, that's
from
what Red Bull do
Stellantis.
with AlphaTauri. So,
yeah, kind of.
Maybe it's
I
just
guess.
Mercedes playing by the rules.
Apparently, yeah. Mercedes need a B team still, I reckon.
They need to be a bit more, like, blurred lines as well.
Yeah.
They're too nice.
Okay, well, I don't think Ferrari would argue that after last weekend, where Mercedes were adamant they deserved a penalty. But that's a topic for another day, I'm sure. But yeah, I mean, it seems especially odd if they go to Haas, because I mean, we say this, don't we? Haas are the American F1 team. They're not really. Let's be fair. It's bizarre. Why? We've said this for so many years. Why haven't they just covered the car in American flags?
Who knows? Because they've got big personalities in their team principal and drivers, so it's kind of like it plays up to being that big,
brash kind of
American
American team. Yeah,
but they just don't go for it. But
no,
there you go. They are last in the championship, so maybe they don't want to get more advertising.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? Because we said a couple of years ago, didn't we? Haas could be on the way out. But they're looking very, very likely to be finishing last again this year. I mean, when we look at the team's championship,
they need 4 points.
They need 4 points to beat Alfa Romeo.
I think they have the count back on Alfa.
Yeah,
because they got 7th place, didn't he? That's like Hulk's only Grand Prix score of the season.
Where did Alfa finish in Qatar? Because that was their good weekend, wasn't it?
I think that was 8th and 9th.
Was it 8th and 9th, or was it 7th and 8th?
Joe was definitely 9th, I think.
Probably 8th and 9th then. Yeah, so Haas have got the count back there, but will they score 4 points? They've looked
don't think so.
better on occasions recently, but nothing special.
I've got no hope at all. So
No, very much.
Another P16 performance this weekend. We'll take it.
Probably. It's, to be honest, it's kind of looking like a track that, unless we sort of see AlphaTauri kind of kick on again, it's looking like a track that it would not surprise me if it's basically just the top 6 teams scoring, like Las Vegas ended up being, but in very odd circumstances.
Yeah, I agree.
All a little bit odd, isn't it? I mean, let's talk about those championship battles then, Jamie, because that, of course, is one of the only exciting things as we move into Abu Dhabi, isn't it? And the biggest one has got to be Ferrari versus Mercedes. 4 points in it. Charles Leclerc has got a lot of momentum behind him in recent times.
Yes, and Mercedes really haven't.
They had a nightmare in Vegas. Sorry, they had a nightmare in Vegas and a nightmare. They've had one podium since Singapore. Yeah, because McLaren have had most of them, haven't they? That's mad. Well, the fact that Russell's only had one podium all year is still an insane stat. But if you had to go out on a limb then right now and say Ferrari, Mercedes got 4 points in the pocket, who's taking that?
I think Ferrari.
You think Ferrari are going to come back?
I just think momentum. They've scored 4 points more than Mercedes quite often in the last few races.
Well, it's a bit difficult when you're fighting towards the front to score more and it not be 4 more.
Yeah, and even so, Ferrari in the last... I didn't even know this. In the last 5 races, have had 2 DNS and a DSQ. And they're still outscoring Mercedes.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Mercedes had a DSQ as well in that time, didn't they?
Yeah.
And George Russell just... Ever since Singapore, really, hasn't he? It seemed a little bit kind of all over the show.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really... I want to back Mercedes for this.
Mercedes generally go well at Abu Dhabi, to be fair.
Yeah.
Even since they stopped being Titans, they've gone like Abu Dhabi usually.
I guess my kind of logic behind it is McLaren will probably get the better of both teams, I reckon, this weekend. Because obviously now it's a lot of high-speed corners, or more high-speed corners in Abu Dhabi. So I feel that Ferrari might... Well, Ferrari will get it on count back, won't they? Because they've already had a win this year.
They've had a race win.
I'm going to say they tie and Ferrari takes it.
Yeah, I think the odds are in Ferrari's favour. Actually, they're not, because Mercedes are ahead. But
exactly.
Yeah,
unless George Russell just takes them both out turn one.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Let's do that.
It's either really... We've kind of got two thought processes here, isn't it? It's either Leclerc or Hamilton has a good run, or something happens to George or Carlos. More likely George than Carlos.
Well, something could happen to Leclerc or Hamilton as well.
Something could... No, but I mean in their own fault more, sort of thing. You know, whether they have a bit of a nightmare race.
Yeah, the science is pretty solid usually.
No, that's what I mean. It's more like
Hamilton. Since the race went to 58 laps, Hamilton's never bothered doing the last few laps, so that might happen again.
I know he had a mechanical failure last year. He did all 58 laps in 2021.
Yeah, but he didn't try for the last one, did he?
He certainly did. Try as much as you can with your arms tied behind your back.
Should have pitted him.
He would have got jumped and they would have ended it under safety car.
Yeah, they would have ended it under safety car.
No, it's true. They definitely would have ended it under safety car. Aston Martin versus McLaren. We were saying just a few weeks ago this one seems slam dunk in McLaren's favour. But Lance Stroll has suddenly decided he's going to turn into prime Ayrton Senna in recent weeks. Could an 11-point swing is big. Could it happen?
Yeah, I don't think it will.
No?
Because in a normal race weekend, Norris probably finishes second. So if that happens, then obviously there's no chance for Aston Martin.
Unless they win. Fernando Alonso, glory.
Number 33, could it happen?
No.
Yeah, I think McLaren will have it sealed. And I think the fact Aston Martin have taken it to the last race is pretty commendable.
No, hang on a minute. The fact that it's not locked up is pretty appalling. Even with Stroll not being great, this should be locked out for P4. They should be on like 330, 340 points.
Yeah.
How many podiums was it at the start of the year? Like 8 in the first 9 races?
6 out of 8.
6 out of 8, was it?
Yeah. And McLaren have had 7 second places this season.
Yeah. And that's still insane. Lando Norris hasn't had a win.
Yeah. He's up there for the most podiums without a win at this point.
Is he not top now?
No, he's not top. I think
he scored more points than anyone else.
Oh no, it's Nick Heidfeld, isn't it?
It's still Heidfeld, I believe. It's either Heidfeld or Lando for most podiums without a win. What always fascinates me as well...
it's the same now, they're tied.
Yeah. What always fascinates me as well with that is Heidfeld has the most podiums without a win in Formula 1, and you'll never guess who has the most podiums without a win in Formula 1. It's him as well,
isn't it?
Yep. He's had like 9 podiums in Formula E, just never takes a win. Fun fact,
not won a race in like 20 years.
Well, I was going to say, I found a fantastic stat a couple of days ago of the last time a Formula 1 driver won a race in any series.
In any series what?
In any motorsport series. Like their most recent win. No, including Formula 1. So if their most recent win was in Formula 1, that includes that. Can you name me the bottom 3 drivers? If I remember, yeah, I think I remember.
The longest time.
Since their last win.
For the 20 F1 drivers.
Yeah, when in any series.
When is their last win in any series?
Yeah, who has it been longest since they last won a race in any motorsport series?
You're probably asking me this because it's Hulkenberg.
Hulkenberg is last. 8 years ago.
Really?
Yep.
What's Magnussen won since then?
Aimsa, 2020.
That is dead.
Or 2021, whichever year. No, he did Daytona 2024.
The rookies obviously all won at some point in F2 probably, or F3. And then the only other drivers who've been around for ages have mostly got race wins. I guess Gasly would probably up there if he hadn't walked into Monza.
Monza? Yeah, well, it don't matter because he won Monza.
Yeah.
Do you want to know the other two?
I want to guess them.
Go on, have a guess.
Could be Stroll, Lance Stroll.
Yep, Stroll is second, Formula 3, 2016.
And who else has been around for a long time and not won anything? I mean, Lando is
third because he only won 1 race in Formula 2, and that was Bahrain.
It was the first race, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So there you
There
go.
you go.
Lando Norris, Lance Stroll, Nico Hulkenberg.
And without Le Mans, Hulk would have been 2009.
Yeah, Hulk would have been 15 years ago, which is kind of staggering when you think about it. Imagine spending basically the first 20 years of your life, because like most Formula 1 drivers, unless you're Stroll or Sargent, you basically spend your entire childhood winning everything, don't you? Hulkenberg then has just not won anything since then.
Yeah, but I think that's a lot of drivers. Cut him some slack.
Okay, no. That was a fun little tangent. We're going on a lot of tangents today, aren't we?
We are. We should get back on topic.
We've said Merc versus Ferrari, we've said McLaren versus Aston. Do we believe now there could be any momentum swings for the bottom teams? The battle for 7th?
I'd have to wait until after practice, but I don't think so.
No, I
the
think
only one that could happen is if AlphaTauri are good like they were in Mexico and Brazil.
Yeah,
So.
that's the only one I'd be nervous about if I was Williams still, but 7 points is quite a big overhaul.
Yeah. Haas and Alfa Romeo look like awful.
Well, they're just dead in the water, aren't they?
Yeah. So
any team associated with Alfa Romeo is screwed.
Yeah. Haas have 1 point since Austria. So they've got to score 4 in one race.
Haas are bizarre though, isn't it? Because like the girlfriend and I have been watching some of the old Drive to Survives. Haas basically score in Bahrain and Austria every year, and that's it.
Every year.
And that is it. They don't score anywhere else. Actually, 2018 they did quite well.
They did. They finished 5th in the championship that year.
Yeah,
so.
and they should have been 4th.
But even
they should have been
year
best of the rest.
They didn't score in Bahrain.
Didn't they?
It was
No, they didn't,
Australia.
because that was Magnussen, wasn't it? Yeah.
Australia and Austria.
Yeah. Madness.
Yeah.
They just always score in Austria, and that's about it. And
Yeah.
it's not even like it's a particularly completely lopsided track in one regard.
Yeah, it's quite a standard track, really, isn't it? But
It's high speed, I suppose. But yeah, it's really weird, isn't
I
it?
don't see any changes in the bottom 4.
No, I don't think so.
Put that one out there.
Drivers-wise, then, obviously top 3 are all locked in, but there is still a big battle going on for 4th.
Yeah.
Carlos Sainz, 200 points. Fernando Alonso, 200 points. Lando Norris, 195 points. Charles Leclerc, 188 points. 12 points, 4 drivers. This could get spicy, and I think we will see a move around.
I think we surely will. If I had to put money on it, I'd put Norris in 4th at the end of the weekend.
Yep.
Because he's only got to make up 5 points on Sainz and Alonso.
Yep.
And not lose out 7
What
to
I think
Leclerc.
would be far more interesting is if Leclerc and Norris were on opposite points. Then I could very much see a scenario where they basically are all tied by the end of the year.
Yeah, I think Sainz and Alonso will be very close to each other probably this weekend.
I think Sainz will get the better of him.
I think Sainz will get the better of him, but
yeah. So if you're going to say 4th
the car
through
pace.
7th, what order are you giving?
I'll give Lando Norris.
Yep.
Then I'll go Carlos Sainz.
Yep.
Is Leclerc going to make up 12 on Alonso? That's the question. Because if Leclerc's not in the top 3, that's quite difficult.
Well, it's impossible, basically, unless Fernando doesn't
Yeah.
score.
I'll go Norris, Sainz, Alonso, Leclerc.
Damn it, that's exactly the same as I was going to say. Like I said, I reckon if Leclerc was on 195 and Lando was on 188, I could see them all being covered by like 2 points come the end of Abu Dhabi. But I think Lando's probably a bit too close, and Charles probably just a bit too far away.
He did just crash in Vegas, so...
Yeah, but that's because he had next to no free practice running.
Yeah, sorry, I was just taking a drink of coffee. So
Nice.
couldn't reply to you very well, but I agree.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to go slightly different. I'm going to say Sainz, Norris, Alonso, Leclerc.
So Sainz won't lose out more than 5 points to Norris.
I reckon Sainz will finish
Interesting.
exactly 5. I reckon they'll be tied, but Sainz has had a win.
So, what, 5th and 3rd?
5th and 3rd.
Right, lock it in. That's one of your predictions.
Lando
done.
Norris P3 sorted. Bish bash bosh. Okay, I can cope with that. Other battles going on. George is obviously locked into P8. Piastri's basically locked into 9th. Stroll is basically locked into 10th. The Alpines, we don't care. Albon is
No,
locked into 13th.
I care about Gasly beating Ocon because Ocon.
Well, I hope he does, yeah, because Ocon can't fraud another teammate victory, can he?
Surely not. Surely not. I really, yeah. If
Gasly
Gasly doesn't
should
beat
have had...
Ocon, I cannot be bothered for all of Twitter. That's what I'm saying.
Well, SD Best is not feeling well, though, is he? So he'll blame it on that by the end of the weekend.
So grim. He's probably... I think he's my least favourite driver on the grid.
He's got to be... I've said this before. I don't get how Esteban Ocon could have had the best
fan base.
Formula 1... No, he doesn't even have a fan base, I don't think. How he can have, quite possibly, like, the most endearing Formula 1 story. He lived in a caravan as a child. Like,
yeah. Everyone
still dislikes you because you're such a penis.
Oh, I'm getting a phone call. I'll put that down. Don't worry. Is that Esteban?
Esteban, yeah. He's coming on to us now, isn't he? It's Esty Bestie here, guys. I want to come on the podcast, and suddenly all the hate will have disappeared.
We love you, Ocon. What else are we saying? Oh, AlphaTauri is no longer a name we're going to be hearing after this race.
Well, apparently. We don't know for sure yet, do we? But apparently it's going to be Racing Bulls.
We know that they won't be AlphaTauri. We don't know who they will be for sure.
Bring back Toro Rosso. How difficult is it?
Yeah. Yeah, completely agree. Toro Rosso back on the grid would be quality, or Minardi. I don't really care.
We'll have it's been a while since we've shouted out Paul Stoddart on the show, but yeah, bring back Minardi and Paul Stoddart.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would ruin the legacy because AlphaTauri are a bit too good now to be Minardi.
Oh, wait, absolutely, yeah. It would not be Minardi.
Yeah.
Not properly. Not proper
backmarker Minardi.
But apparently the Racing Bulls is going to have a blue and silver design.
I quite like that.
Well, what's it, Visa and... Is it PayPal or something like that? It's two.
Aren't they rivals?
Not really.
Fair. Well, there you go. I quite like that. I'm thinking like the 2017 Toro Rosso style.
Oh, yeah, that could be nice, couldn't it? Shout out to Brendan Hartley. We hope he's doing well, mate. Just re-signed with Toyota for next year, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. Some news for you there. I mean, Formula 2, Jamie.
Yeah, I'm not really bothered because they've put about 16,000 years between...
Well, I love this. Is a fantastic stat for you, and the numbers aren't perfect, but they're pretty damn accurate. I believe it's been 83 days since Monza, the last race in Formula 2, and there's a 92-day gap between Abu Dhabi and Bahrain. It's so stupid.
It is proper dumb.
And have you seen as well how many wins? So ART have got 2 wins this year. Prema, I believe, have 9, and ART are going to win it.
I saw that. Yeah, it's 2 wins to 9, but ART are ahead.
Because they've just... If Prema this year, in the F2 races I've watched, have really dropped the ball. There's been a lot of mistakes.
There's only 26 points between, so the Prema could still win. In 2 races.
But it's unlikely.
Yeah, it's unlikely. But I just want to shout out Fred Vesti, who ever since I said post... I think I said post Silverstone.
Yeah.
Or before Silverstone.
He's barely scored a point.
He's had 1 feature race podium, and every other feature race he hasn't scored points in.
Nice. Yeah, again, it has been another year of the kiss of death by Jamie183.
I'm just not going to talk about F2.
It is incredible. I would genuinely love to do... mainly, I would love to do a full dedicated Formula 2 show just for how often you jinx them. It's so funny how accurate and reliable you are with ruining a Formula 2 driver's career. I genuinely hope the Brit Ferrari never touches your lips.
Brit Ferrari. What a guy.
For those of you who don't know, Ollie Behrman, Jamie once read in an article, was the Brit Ferrari driver and thought that was his name.
That was his name. It's a great name. If he was called Brit Ferrari, I might be a fan of his.
Are you not a fan of Behrman? Well, please tell me you're not.
I don't mind him. I think it's just he's so young.
Please remain impartial.
I will remain impartial, otherwise his career is done.
Exactly, yeah. You're basically
he's also born in 2005, so he makes me feel bad.
He is 18 now, which is awful. But yeah, I think Pourchaire's going to win that, isn't he? He just needs a handful of points.
Yes. Pourchaire, on record, Théo Pourchaire will win the World Championship.
It's going to be the first time you get one of these right. It's incredible.
I'm just saying that because I secretly hope Vesti still wins.
Yeah, you basically require a nightmare from Pourchaire and a miracle weekend from Vesti, wouldn't it? Yeah. Which could happen. Yeah. Quiz?
Shall we go on to the quiz?
We can do the quiz. It's your turn for quiz, isn't it? Oh, we've got to do predictions as well, don't we? That's spicy.
I know, that'll be fun. Well, we know one of yours already. I am gonna. We've done a lot of these. Abu Dhabi obviously has a medium level history in Formula One now. Back in 2009, it started.
I know exactly what quiz you're going to do.
Do you? Because you're expecting me to say who won every Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
No.
I'm actually going to say who came second.
Oh, even worse.
There's no time limit.
Oh,
so you can take it away.
I'm going to get this wrong so quickly. So
2022.
2022.
I actually said this pre-show if you were listening as well.
You told me the top 3 on the grid. You didn't tell me the top 3 come race end. I believe it was either Leclerc or Perez.
You are correct. It's one of those two.
I think I'm gonna say Leclerc, just because if it was Perez, then Red Bull should have swapped him round, so Perez would have taken P2 in the championship.
You are correct.
Yeah,
it was Charles Leclerc.
2021 should have been Max, but was in fact Lewis.
Thank you. Can you say that again?
Yeah, Lewis. 2020 was a weird one, was it? I believe it was Bottas, because Hamilton had just come back from COVID and Albon pushed him right to the finish because Max won.
It was Valtteri Bottas.
Valtteri Bottas. 2019, I believe it was Lewis that won. Or was it Lewis that won? Was it Max again? This is
a really weird race.
Yeah. Max has had 3 wins in Abu Dhabi. 2022, 2021. Oh, and 2020, yeah, so it wasn't Max that won. And it wasn't this year, because that was 2017. He claimed P3 in the championship with a big result here. And then had to go to the gala.
18 it was.
Was that 18, was it? I thought it was... Yeah, because Bottas had a good season in 17, didn't he? He was closer to Seb by the end of the year than Seb was to Lewis, if I remember correctly. 2019... it was either Leclerc or Verstappen, I think.
Correct. It was one of those. This is the race they turned off DRS for ages.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah, to test pilot it, wasn't it? Which they still have never admitted to, but it was so obvious.
Yep.
Second. Was it Verstappen?
It was.
Okay.
Well done.
Thank you. 2018. Again, I believe Lewis won this one. Was it Verstappen again? Or was it Seb?
It was one of those.
I'm going to say Seb.
Correct. Well done. That was close. I was worried for a second.
17 then. I feel like Mercedes dominated this one. Was it Bottas? Or did Bottas win and Hamilton come second?
I prefer not to speak.
I'm trying to remember. Did Bottas win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in 17? I know his first race win was Russia. But that Russia was still at the start of the year, wasn't it, then?
Yes, it was. You're on the right lines.
Was it Lewis?
In P2 was indeed Lewis Hamilton.
16 was Rosberg.
Yes, world champion.
Yeah. 15 was Hamilton.
Correct. Doing very well.
14 was one of the Williams, because this is where Williams have still got the record for most points scored on a race
points
weekend.
In a race.
I think... Oh, I can't remember which way round it was, though. Oh, this is so annoying. I want to say Felipe.
Is that your answer?
The fact you pause makes me want to say it was Bottas instead.
It was Felipe Massa. You can carry on.
Thank you. 13 Seb 1.
This will be quite hard. I actually don't. I keep scrolling back. I've not actually looked at these ones.
This could have been really rogue, couldn't it? Because was this the race? Kimi left early. Kimi crashed out at turn 1 and was already gone.
Yeah. Last race for Lotus.
Was it Fernando?
The last two. It was not Fernando Alonso. Unlucky.
Was it Webber?
Alonso wasn't even on the podium. It was Webber.
Ah.
Alonso finished 5th.
Was it Webber Hamilton on the podium? Was it? Or?
Webber Rosberg.
Oh, okay.
Hamilton. Okay. Where was he? Hamilton was 7th.
Hamilton has had a really bipolar time at Abu Dhabi. It's so odd. He's either won it or been screwed.
Or lost out on a championship. Or both in 2016.
That's what I mean. Yeah, he's either won it or been screwed. Well, yeah, or both in that case. To be honest, I'm much more impressed with that than I ever should have got.
Yeah, he did very well.
Yeah, you gave me a couple of hints, but I'm taking it.
Yeah.
I'm taking it.
Well done. And now the big one.
Predictions, Jamie. This is the only championship fight that matters. What are the scores on the doors? 77 for me, Valtteri Bottas, versus 74 for Jamie. 3 points in it, and I believe for about the first time since round 2 of the year, you get to pick first.
I don't want to pick first.
You have to pick first. You're behind in the championship.
You're just going to copy what I say.
No, I won't, because I've already locked in Lando for P3.
If you got to write down your answers on a piece of paper.
I haven't got a piece of paper here, but I will write down my answers on my phone.
On your phone, yeah. And then that's your answers. Because if we say the same thing, that's so anticlimactic.
Yeah, but what if we say the same thing even though I wrote it down? Then can I change it?
Then I'll change. Because you clearly want your answers. I just want to win.
Okay. That's
fine. The thing is, pole position is a big one. Because that's 2 points. Yeah. So if you go Max, I don't see the point of going away from Max. Because if
Max is the obvious answer, then you don't want to lose an extra 2 points.
Yeah, because if I lose 2 points there's no chance. So I've got to say Max for pole, which is annoying.
I'm changing my Lando Norris prediction slightly.
That is outrageous. I cannot believe that. I will go...
I've got mine written down. I'm going to show them to the camera right now.
Okay.
I think the blur is horrendous. I do apologise. You can't read it, chat.
Because if I go Max, you're probably going to have matched the same thing. So I'm then relying on getting 4 or 3 points over you in the second and the third place.
Which is possible.
It is possible, but only...
You'd have to get both of them perfect, basically. Yeah, you would have to get both of them perfect.
Because I'm almost certain you have gone Max and Max.
I can't wait for us to predict exactly the same. Even though I wrote mine down and locked them in.
Oh dear.
Jamie, I can't believe you've thrown this away.
I know.
I've stayed close to you all year.
I'm on the ropes.
It's actually is rent free.
Who's got the pole positions recently?
Leclerc.
Yeah, Leclerc got it in Mexico as well, didn't he?
And Kota.
Let's have a look at recent polls. So it's been Leclerc, Verstappen, Leclerc, Verstappen, and then Sainz. I'll go Charles Leclerc on pole.
Okay, that is different.
Max Verstappen win.
That's the same, yep.
You will have put Norris P2, I'm almost certain.
Yep.
I'm going to go Leclerc P2.
Okay. So Leclerc P2 gives him a big opportunity to potentially jump Alonso or Sainz in the championship.
It does. Oh, I don't know. I want to say Hamilton or Sainz.
This is so funny because there's so little you can do. Because even if we predict the same drivers in different positions, then I score points potentially
what I want
from
to do
you
is
getting
know
it
what
right.
you've predicted.
So I have said, Jamie, I'm locking this in.
Okay.
Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc.
Okay. Well, I'm going Leclerc pole, Verstappen win.
Yep.
You said
so we're the same there.
Well, haven't you?
You basically cannot predict Norris or Leclerc on the podium if you want to win this.
Well, if I've got 2 points from Leclerc versus for pole, then I only need to get one of them right. So I could put Leclerc in third or something.
I've put Leclerc in third, so you'd have to put Leclerc second. This is so dumb.
I'll put Max Leclerc.
Yep.
And then I'll say
Go on, say Perez.
I'll say Lewis Hamilton.
Okay, I
There you
like
go.
that.
So I'm a
You're
big
backing
Hamilton fan
Lewis.
this weekend. Indeed.
Okay, I like that. I like that a lot.
McLaren need to be slow.
Yeah, might happen. Might happen. You never know.
Could happen. That was the most convoluted predictions to try and get points.
That is so funny.
How different have we got? So we've matched on Max, and we've both got Leclerc on the podium.
Yeah.
And that's it. Okay, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, so you can effectively tie this up. Or
That'd
if
be
you
good.
get it bang on. Yeah, no, if you get Hamilton right, you'll take 2. You can still win this by a point, I believe.
There we go. I could win it by a lot of points.
Hey?
If I get 8.
Yeah, but I'm guaranteed to at least get 2. 3.
If I get 8, you're getting 3. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can win it by 2 points. Sorry.
There you go.
Okay. Right, okay. That's fine. I look forward to it, JB. I cannot wait to
I
see
do.
the tweet off your account.
I literally never tweet. It'll be so obvious that it's you.
It will be even more obvious when I put something horrendous on your timeline.
Yeah, you lose my job.
Have we got anything else to add, Jamie? This has been one of the more rambly episodes, but I think it sums up the F1 season, doesn't it?
Yeah. F1 Secret Santa is here. We should do a podcast Secret Santa.
Just us two. Oh, I wonder who's bought me this.
Yeah, that might not be the best idea.
No.
But yeah, I've just seen a picture of Valtteri Bottas in a Santa hat on Twitter. So.
Has he got his bum out?
No.
Not
no,
interested. Thank
you see, he gave Joe a picture of him cooking in the outside world with no clothes on.
Yep. Bottas
Yeah.
just does what he wants.
He does.
We love it.
He does.
We
One of my
love it.
favourite outcomes from Vegas was I saw a reel. This shows my age because I'm not on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. But
It's from 3 years ago.
it was like a compilation. They asked the drivers, who would you like to go with on a night out? And everyone was just saying their mates, basically. And then Bottas said, nobody. They would just slow me down.
He's a Finn,
And I
mate.
feel like-
He's a Finn.
He's just like the family-friendly version of Raikkonen,
Yeah, to a certain point.
apart from the nudity.
Yeah, I'll say, apart from the fact he's literally got his ass out at any opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that about rounds us up.
I
That's our
think
last
we've,
preview of the season.
we've done
So
pretty
sad.
well there. I hope everyone enjoys watching the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Like we said, we're just hoping that 2024 is more exciting, aren't we?
Yep.
But of course, we've got some fun podcasts to do over the winter. We've still got some F1 Iceberg to do, haven't we?
Yes.
Between now and the end of the year, which should be good fun. But thank you all, as always, so much for listening. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like. Get yourself subscribed. And we will be back very, very soon for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix review.